From our free daily newsletter, the latest from podnews.net with supporting cast. The biggest shows are getting even bigger, according to new research from Edison Podcast Metrics UK, presented at the podcast show in London. In 2023, to reach 50% of all podcast listeners, you'd need to advertise on the top 43 shows. But 2 years later, you only need the top 27 shows to reach half of all podcast listeners. The data was part of a preview of the upcoming UK Podcast Consumer 2026 to be released later this summer. The US version will be unveiled next week in a free webinar. Spots Now has launched an advertiser campaign planner to help advertisers build a high-quality host-read campaign on the right shows for their brands. The tool is free and is available from today. 51% of RSS.com's podcasters are recording video in some form, according to a new Insights survey published by the podcast host. A majority of them say that video has helped grow their audience. The full results are published on their website. Australia is to get a new awards for podcasts, radio, audiobooks and voiceovers. Sonar, backed by training organisation AFTRS, is to have 35 categories, a practitioner-led judging panel and a formal gala dinner in October. An Australian independent podcast is going on a national tour. The show, Lamestream, is celebrating its 12-month anniversary. We covered its launch last year. Adam Bowie looks at the UK podcast landscape from a data point of view. Durations, ages of the hosts, loudness, video availability, sentiment analysis, and plenty more. He notes that 72% of the hosts of the top 25 shows were male. Only 49% of the British population is male. And congratulations to Sports Social, which won the Sales Team of the Year award at the Campaign Audio Advertising Awards in the UK. The company also won the Best Host Read Ad for a campaign with Topps trading cards. Sadly, the Campaign Audio Advertising Awards is behind Campaign's paywall, so any other winners remain a mystery. And there's more reading elsewhere on the web today. We link to two of them. Many successful podcasts are hosted by recovering addicts and alcoholics. In Podcast Review, host and producer Michael Osborne examines the impact of the 12 steps on the medium. And sometimes some of the biggest shows can sound poor. In his newsletter, John McDermott fingers Strike Force 5, reunited for the end of Stephen Colbert's Late Show, for sounding like garbage. Without a script, a producer, any discipline from the talent, or any real plan, it was recorded on lapel microphones for video in one of Colbert's echoey offices. It's a Monday, so time for some tech stuff, and the Podcast Standards Project had a successful meeting in London during the podcast show. A blog post covers the 4 proposals that came out of the meeting, especially a way to securely sign video requests to avoid downloads of video files by unidentified apps and bots. And it's always difficult to link to podcasts. You can link to a website, but that won't help you subscribe in your podcast app unless there's a clear button for that specific app. Or you can link to an RSS feed, but that can look like technical junk if you load one in your web browser. Step forward Yeldar Kudaibergen, who has had a brainwave to make it easier to follow podcasts directly. He's built a thing called Direct Flow, which uses the Auto Discover RSS feed already on your podcast's website. It works great with QR codes too, which can take you to the podcast's website if scanned in the normal way, but if scanned in a Direct Flow enabled podcast app, would just subscribe you. All Pod News podcast pages already support Direct Flow, as do most podcast websites. And in podcast news, the box of oddities with Airwave delves into the strange and mysterious aspects of our world. Today, the woman locked in darkness for 24 years. On the new media show last week, Rob Greenlee was joined by Inception Point AI's Janine Wright and Robert Scoble. The Media Club with Matt Deegan was recorded at the Podcast Show London last week. The show focuses on the pivot to video. And all new Alf-splaining for every single day of this week. It seems a ridiculous idea, but it's true. After a short break, Ben Baker and John Matthews are back to explain the final 5 episodes of that particular run that they're looking at, and also you can expect an interview with a regular ALF cast member as well. It's all from the hit 80s TV show. And Alex Sanfilippo from Podmatch joins Buzzcast to give his top tips for landing guest spots on other podcasts, including how to build the perfect guest profile, craft a pitch that stands out, and make it easy for other podcast hosts to say yes. And this podcast is sponsored by Supporting Cast. The shows you listen to probably already use Supporting Cast. Supporting Cast powers subscriptions for some of the most trusted names in podcasting, because when your business depends on subscriber trust, the platform behind it matters. Let's talk about what we could build together, they say. You'll find a link to Supporting Cast in our show notes today, and that's the latest from our newsletter. To read all the stories and subscribe for free, we're at podnews.net.